Good morning. It is 9 o'clock. We'll go ahead and get started. The agenda is in the chat. Um, so hopefully we will just boogie right along. There's a lot to talk about today. Done. All right. So I'm just going to jump right in. And because this is recorded, thank you. If you miss anything, we can catch up later. So state grant and aid update, not the best news in the world. The budget that the legislators put together, this parallel budget situation, originally the House had stripped away the $1,000 base amount, but then the Senate said, no, 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 we need to put that back. But then when they went into conference committee, there was a little bit of confusion. And the end result was that the $1,000 base is gone for next year, but the per capita increase stayed. So for Iola, we got an extra like $1,300. We're going to keep the 300, but we're losing the 1,000 for next year. So as you're getting ready to do your 2026 budgets, just know whatever you got for state aid this year minus 1,000, that's probably what you're going to get for next year. We will continue to advocate. Senator Petty especially was very vocal. She stood up and in the full Senate and talked about how important that $1,000 is, how it supports small and rural libraries, especially, which is what the Senate is interested in. And she was kind of miffed that this joint budget was very House centric, and she felt that they didn't do their due diligence. It was interesting to hear her comments. So if anybody's interested, we can share those. It's all on YouTube. And then updates on the different grants. So we had an executive committee meeting on the 25th, and they approved a bunch of different grants. So this year's competitive grant is collection development. The total grant amount, the big pot of money that we're going to be giving away is $30,000, and that will be grants up to 1,500. And we're again going to include the ability to put at least 500 of that 1,500 towards collection maintenance. So face out shelving, acrylic holders for kids' books, or bookends. Bookends are really important. They keep your books from falling over, and that keeps your books in better condition for a longer time. So that'll be coming live in August. Any questions on that? There's no big changes to that grant. For the 2025 programming grant, we just clarified it. So a program means one event. So if you're asking for funding, it's for an event rather than a series of events. So that has been clarified, and that language is changed, and that's in on the grants page of the website. For the academic school extended services, which none of my schools actually apply for that one, but all my academics do. We have expanded what can be counted. It used to be you got one grant based on how many students you had, and then the second half of the grant was how much circulation you did for patrons, just the general John Q. public. Well, a lot of the libraries, and Robert, you probably guys in the same boat, people come in and use the computers. And so it's the facility that's getting used. The public, Scotty said at Labette, he has more public use their computers than the students, because students all have their laptops and stuff. So now for this year? Yeah, for this year's grant, it'll count both. So circulation to the public plus computer use to the public. So extended uses. So that will go out in August. And then materials delivery courier grant. Give me 1 second. Let me find my numbers. Of course, it went up. It always goes up. There's a new 5-year contract with Henry Industries, and it turned out that we thought we were going to have a competitive grant process, and one person dropped out and 2 people merged, and they merged into Henry Industries. So we didn't get quite the competitive pricing and changes that we were hoping for. This is for the academic libraries, Morgan, but yeah, it would. well, let me rephrase that. If a library at an academic institution has their own router and they can tell exactly how many people are coming into their space that are the public, so not using a student ID, but using either a guest pass or, you know, whatever, using their cafe style, then it would count. But they have to be able to count. They have to have something they can count, that they can say, yes, this is definitively in the library and this was the public using the library. And some of our, I have a couple of academics on my executive committee, and they were like, oh yeah, I can do that. And then other was like, oh no, because it's all just central. So, all right. So prices went up. Back to the courier grant. Last year, the actual cost of 3-day-a-week service was $1,910, and we gave you a $1,580 grant, so we paid for 83% of it, and the library had to pay $330 for 3-day service, and for 5-day service, it was, and this is this year, $4,245, so $4,000. We gave you a $3,600 grant, so we paid 85% of it, and the 5-day-a-weekers paid $645. So I gave the board a bunch of different options, and they kind of did their own combo. So we are going to be providing 84% support for both, for 3-day-a-week and 5-day-a-week. For 2026, for your budgets, the cost of 3-day-a-week is going to be $2,205. The cost for 5-day-a-week is going to be $4,900. Okay. So the grant for 3-day-a-week next year, so this will be the part you put up at the top, is going to be $1,850, making a net to library an extra $25, so $355. For 5-day-a-week, it's going to be a grant of $4,100. So an increase from $645 to $800. And as we were discussing this with the board, if that $800 busts your budget, you can go down to 3-day-a-week service. So that's just totally up to you. That's going to leave me with we're going to be budgeting $141,295 to support courier service. So if you ever, are talking to a local legislator and they want to know what SEKLS does for you, that's what we do. We help make the courier possible. Now, the cool thing is this is still so much less than using the post office. The cost is going to go from, where's my memo? The cost is going to, see, this is why you do board memos. It's going to go from $1.18 per courier service, use of the service, to $1.33. And Brenda, what'd you say? It's not $3.92, it's it's like $4, over $4
it's over $4 for the first
pound of library rate.
So,
yeah.
Ounces or whatever.
So
like $4.35 or something like that.
So it's still a bargain, considering how much we use it and how important it is to interlibrary loan and resource sharing. Okay, so that's that. And I believe that I put all of these new amounts on the SEKLS grant page. Let me double check. I got 2025. I didn't put 2026 up there yet. Oh yeah, I did. Okay. So if you go to this page on our website, you can see, and you go down to the materials delivery grant narrative. I have the budget for 2025, 24, 23, 22, and then I talk about the 2025 costs and the grant amounts and costs for next year. All right. Wow, $5. Then this is definitely cost effective. Efficient, you might even say. Okay. All right, that's that. Any questions? Like I said, I got a lot to talk about, so thank you. Oh, on the on the agenda is just a link to the SEKLS strategic plan dashboard that's been updated. So that's my to-do list for SEK. And then we also completed our year-end statistics, if you're interested. So that's there for that. I was curious who has been through the Kansas Leadership Center training. Okay, cool. I'm going through it now, and Diane there you are, from Moline happened to be there with me. So we're doing it through the a community foundation through Patterson. But that's exciting. If you guys have an opportunity, it's really, really good. They have their own books and everything. It's pretty complete leadership training, and it's all homegrown. So we have 2 budget workshops on the books as of yesterday. Now where's my notes? There they are. The budget workshop for public libraries and township libraries will be Tuesday, April 22nd at 2 o'clock, leaning into those twos. And then a budget workshop just for district libraries will be May 20th at 2 p.m. These will be very similar to the ones that I did in 2024, but I'll tweak them based on feedback. So those flyers and things will be coming out this week. And then I wanted to see if anybody had, I don't even know if I've launched it officially. I did a little YouTube video just on mill levies. It's about, I don't know, less than 20 minutes. And I think, Amy, can somebody find that on YouTube and post the link to it for me? I should have put that in the agenda and I didn't. So anyway, that has been done. I promised it last year. I finally got it done. So look through that, see if it's helpful at all. I know the mill levy is always kind of complicated and people don't like to think about it because it's math and it makes your brain hurt. Thank you. Thank you, Tammy. You may have seen on Can Libel that the Slim out of ESU has launched a public library worker training. We shared that information out with you. It had a really quick turnaround time and it starts today. Myra Dow, Dr. Dow, reached out to Tammy and I and said, hey, share it. If anybody wants to sign up today, they can still sign up. So this, she sent out an email. It's on Ken Libel, sent out yesterday at 10:18 a.m. Just scroll up and the link is right there. And then you can register. They just want to start with one session. So there's 7 different sessions that you can choose from. Foundations of Library Service, Communication and Teamwork, Technology, Access Services, Collections, Reference and Information Services, or Supervision and Management. And it's $100. It's $100. And remember that you can ask for a CE grant from us for college classes like this for up to $250. So I don't remember when I sent out the email, but it was sometime last week. So reach out to Amy if you have questions or you want to sign up for that. Is it one time or do they plan to repeat the series? I think they plan to, I think it's well, they're testing it for one, it's a pilot. But yeah, they're really interested in this. They reached out to the system directors and got our thoughts on it. I think they went to the SysCon, the consultants as well, and talked to them. And Dr. Young especially is just real excited about this, as is Dr. Dow. So I would love somebody from SEK to take it just so you can tell us what it is about. How was it? Did you like it? So please know that that's a grant you're probably going to get, because I really want to know how these, what you think of these. All right.
Sharon,
Yes.
they have until Friday if they want to sign up for these courses.
Oh, good. Okay. Thank you. All right. And the last thing, not least by any stretch of the imagination, Candace, just a few. Yes, you don't have to sign up for all 7. Actually, they want you to start with just one. So, and so finally was IMLS. And if you follow Kansas Library Association on social media, or you're on social media at all, or you read the email that came out from KLA, IMLS is basically shuttered. They sent all 60 or 70 workers home. And in the here, I don't know, will these hyperlinks come over? Yeah. There's a statement from every library. We don't know what's happening. So I can't, all I can say is please understand that IMLS, that's the Institute for Museums and Library Services, they are who we go through to get the Library Service Technology Act grant, which is the big 5-year grant that funds 30% of the state library's budget. That grant is awarded through 2025. So the state library has those funds available to them through September of 2026. That was an act of the legislature. That was an act. That was an act of Congress to get that funding. So what KLA and what we are urging citizens, private citizens, to do is to reach out to their federal legislators and let them know what reauthorization of the LSTA grant means for the State Library of Kansas. So that 30% of the state library budget is personnel, including Alice. It is the Share It software. It is what, about a third of the new books that go into the cloud library. It is summer reading. It is, that's just like 4 things off the top of my head. And I think that we've shared all of that. We have like inundated y'all with information, so my apologies for that. But that there's everything is happening at once. We had all this stuff going on with the budget at the same time we're having all this stuff going on with executive orders. So what I have put into the chat is the statement from every library, which it's an advocacy group that's been helpful. A statement from KLA, and KLA is our library association that helps us do advocacy and pays for our lobbyist. And the Federal News Network was an article that Catherine from the Government Affairs Committee sent out. So there was a GAC meeting yesterday. Unfortunately, I was hyper-focusing and totally missed it. And so waiting for the minutes of that to come out and see what else they talked about. All right. So if you did happen to send letters to the state legislators and shared your stories, thank you. Thank you so much. If you were able to tell your board and your friends and your advocacy-minded patrons, here's where you go to find the telephone number or the address for your local and federal legislators. Thank you. That's what we need. We provide information, and then they can do what they will with that information. So please continue to share information with everybody about how valuable the state library is to us, because it is. It's hugely important. So I got interviewed, and we just had an article in the paper. I think it's going to come in today's paper about the importance of IMLS. So if you have a local paper, consider going to them and sharing this information and doing the same thing, getting a little blast in the paper about what's going on. I think that's it. I'm sure I'm forgetting things, but I think that's it for me. So I'm going to take a deep breath and turn off my mic and let it go to Amy.
It's me. Yep. Apple is ending and beginning now. We have 4 folks who should be finishing up. And 3 more starting the program next week. The retreat is next week out at Rock Springs, so we're excited about that. There is a new director's interest group next Thursday at 1 p.m. Cheryl's going to join us for that one and give her insider tips on ordering books, where you can find them, and what it's like to work with those book jobbers, those vendors, and what the advantages are of those. And that is really all I have for you this morning.
Thank you so much. And then Tammy.
Good morning. I wanted to remind everyone that today is April 1st, and no joke, but today starts April Child Abuse Prevention Month. So wear blue in support. On Friday is the day that everyone is saying wear blue. So whichever day you choose, but Friday is the day that others in the state will be showing their support by wearing blue. You can find out more information about that at Kansas Children's Service League, and they also have a calendar of events and social media posts that you can use if that's something that you're interested in. If you indicated interest in the ukulele course that's available on Niche, it's now available. I have the link. All you have to do is email me and we can get you started on that. So please do. Rabbit hole registration is closing as our trip is scheduled for this Thursday. Hopefully it's not going to storm really bad. But if you are still interested, email me directly so that I can get you included in our trip and our transportation. Youth Services Community of Practice is April 21st. This will be the last in the summer library program planning sessions, and this one is focusing on adult service ideas. And then last, Diane Kukar at Moline, who's on this call, and I will be presenting a session at the Conference on the Importance of Play in Burlington, Indiana, on April 15th through the 17th. We're presenting on the impact of libraries implementing family play space. And so we're pretty excited about that. We wanted to let you all know that we'll be representing you. So that's what I have for today. Any questions?
You said Burlington. Are you going to be in Bloomington?
Yep, Bloomington. I got the state right and the city wrong that time, so
That's
I'll
all
get
right.
there eventually.
It's a
Thank you.
beautiful town. Everything is limestone. Just it reminds me of Manhattan. So enjoy. Thank you guys both for spreading the word on that. All right. Brenda, I'm gonna let you go next.
I'm assuming me.
Yeah.
You have two Brendas on the call.
Oh,
Okay.
true.
I don't have a whole lot other than be sure that you're watching when those updates come from Caroline about mailing labels or courier labels, not mailing labels, updated. A lot of our libraries that were on Emporia route have changed to the Wichita route. So you want to make sure that you get the correct label because it slows things down if you don't. That's about it. I know there's been some growing pains with the switchover, merge, whatever you want to call it, with Henry. Here, our driver seems to be settling in nicely, so maybe things will be okay. Just stay on top of this stuff. If you've got stuff that's not coming, stay on top of that as far as letting Caroline know and letting us know. And when we know a problem, Jason runs a report that I can send to her, and that seems to help a little bit. So that's about it.
Great. Thank you. Cindy Chucker.
Okay, got a handful of stuff here, so I'll try to talk fast. I visited 18 libraries so far, and I'm going to keep going. I'm bringing you all the new form that has parental acknowledgement that if they're under 18 child is signed up for Talking Books, it means they'll have access to the whole catalog. I want to say thanks to Brenda Cash at DISA for helping get those Aging with Attitude flyers out, and in my travels yesterday, I saw one, so they've begun arriving. And I'd appreciate it if you'd put it up for the month of August, well, at least till the 25th, which is the day. I think we have a good program planned. It's only $15. You get lunch, there's vendors, and it's always fun, and the day goes so fast. It's down at ICC West, so Independence this year. The Library of Congress is touring, and there were 4 stops in Kansas. I'm going to be speaking about the talking books at the Girard Library on April 8th. And Kathleen, I can't pronounce her last name, from the Library of Congress, I thought it was kind of sad. She wasn't sure what was going on, and so she gave us a phone number and an email, not at the office, so we can contact her if we need, but sign of the times. There are 7 topics, and they're all interesting, I think. Genealogy, there's one called People Crowdsourcing. You can go on and actually look at original documents and try to see what it says, because they had different writing then, throughout the years. And so you're typing it in and transcribing it. So anyway, I thought that was pretty cool, and I did a little bit of that one day. Nicole at Hepler, I went out and did board training, and oh my gosh, she has such a supportive and fun group. I really, really had a good time. So upbeat. Plus there were 2 babies there, and that's always fun. Kay at Parker had me come out because she had a patron who wanted some help signing up for talking books, and that's another thing that I will do. Just if you have someone who needs some help, I'll come and visit and help them do it. If you ever need to look at webinars, I've found the coolest place to get free webinars that are specific for special needs, and it's the Pacer Center out of Minneapolis, the Simon Technology Center, and they have let me find some. I wanted to tell you what they are. A couple of the titles I did this month: visual support tools for early childhood, assistive technology for dyslexia. Anyway, they will, well, if you're a resident of Minnesota, they will check out some of this technology that they have so people can try before they buy. But anyway, they're really good. They do such a good job. I did get my application for National Federation of the Blind's audio and braille service. That is, hold on a minute. There we go. And so I just got my letter yesterday, and I haven't been able to explore that, but they read national newspapers. You can use an iOS device, you can use your phone, an NLS player. And anyway, I'm anxious to do that because you put in your zip code and it will tell you the local weather, any jobs available in your area. So yeah, let me see if I've got everything. Yep, that's it for me.
Okie dokie, thank you. Tammy just posted information about the ESU course in the minutes, and I forwarded the email to everybody as well. So thank you. And Cindy, when you get done, if you could go into the agenda and maybe put the URL for that source of training that you were talking about that you liked? Okay, great, thank you. All right. Thank you, Barb. She gave you some more information about what's going on April 8th there at the Girard Public Library. It's a day of 1-hour sessions. It's free to the public. Everyone is welcome, and you can find the schedule on their Facebook page and website. That is cool. Congratulations for being invited to host one of those. and supporting our poor federal institutions. All right, Jason.
I don't have much this month. We do have a users group on Friday. If you haven't registered yet, please do so. We've got about 11 people signed up to be there in person. We're moving things around like we decided. So this one's going to be in Eureka in person, and then we'll also have it available via Zoom. So if you haven't registered, please do. I'll put the links in the chat and on the agenda. Yeah. So we've got a lot to talk about. I sent out the agenda, so please look over the agenda before and so that you've got those topics in your head, because it's gonna be largely a lot of discussion and just talking about changes that we may or may not want to make as a group to the consortia. So that's it for me.
Okay, thank you. Darren here. No, okay. Darren did just get back from going to the Computers and Libraries Conference. So we'll find out more information about that. And we do also have the new augmented reality camera interactive, I don't know what you call it, but it's kind of a cool thing that is available for 55 plus trainings. And it's got a whole set that's just for neurodivergent folks, and it's got games and interaction. So I think it's going to be cool for all ages, but we want to pilot it or test it first with folks that have a senior club or a senior group, or like we have old timers talking. So if you have a established seniors group, program, whatever, and you'd be interested in checking out Darren and this augmented reality fun time toy, go ahead and reach out. And Kim has a sick puppy, so she is not here today, but I did notice that somebody is taking full advantage of their cataloging services, and there's like 6 giant boxes of books that they're cataloging right now. So, and again, I'll be the one to say, if you have a laminating project, be sure to send it and they can get that done as well.
Those were Toronto's boxes finally arrived, and I believe it was the Pilcrow
Oh, okay.
grant books
Yes.
she sent.
That Pilcrow Family Foundation grant. And just as a reminder, anybody that did get that grant, we have to have reports in May 21st. So there is a reporting feature, and we have to have pictures, and we have to show how we promoted it. And, you know, so there's a lot of little hoops we have to jump through, but totally worth it for all of those amazing new books. Brenda Armstrong, since you're here, do you have anything you needed to share?
Good morning, everybody. The first quarter allocations has been completed, and so your allocation reports are due April 30th. I always like sooner if you are able to. In fact, I've already got 2 libraries submitted their reports. And just a friendly reminder that if you received a 2024 tech grant, the final report with pictures and documentation is due in July. Sooner is better if you've already spent all your funds. That's all I have.
Dokie, thank you. I don't remember what I wrote there. All right. Did I forget any of my staff? I hope not. Sometimes I do that, and I apologize. I don't think so. I think I got everybody. Bonnie, I need to talk to you. I'm jealous that your daughter got that fence put up so quickly. All right. Member roundtable. Who has anybody who needs to say anything or ask anything? Let me know.
Well, since you shouted me out, I'll talk. That's having a good papa, a good dad.
Oh, okay.
Where Library has received a laminator from Child Care Aware. So if you're on this end of SEK, you can use our laminator. I mean, it's a big, 32, 36 inch, whatever. And 50 cents a yard for the laminating film. So if you need something and you're close to Weir, come on in and laminate.
That's great. Thank you. Awesome. Anybody else?
Yes. So at Pittsburgh, I've been interim dean for over a year now, and they have finally started the search for filling the position. And we have a new librarian, a learning outreach librarian, starting in May. She's coming from Iowa.
Okay. I hope that I hope that both of you are able to come to the academic in-service and she can meet the cohort. Awesome. Congratulations. Which reminds me, I don't know if Connie, you texted, do you want to talk? I saw that the position showed up on Ken Libel.
What would you like me to say? We're still looking. We're accepting applications through April the 11th. So
Okay.
it's a great place to work.
Well, there you go. I guess I can talk about Iola. We have interviewed Iola, I can't spell. We've interviewed 3 people and we're still interviewing. So it's become a bit of a process. So we are going to do a reception for the 3 candidates and a final full board review, and then hopefully make our final decision. So that will be at the board meeting on the 7th. It's a good thing to have 3 really good candidates and we can't figure out which one's going to be the best fit. So there's worse problems to have. And Jennifer?
Yeah, so Fort Scott Library was actually the recipient of an ALA grant. So we got $20,000. And we're one out of the 50 that got it. So we're putting in a double shush booth and working with our Southeast Kansas Mental Health to deal with children with special needs and therapy and getting a bunch of neurodivergent toys and stuff. So big change.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. Where are you putting the shush booths? Downstairs or?
No, it's going upstairs. So we're also moving everything and putting a family play place that's our own thing, not through Tammy in and doing a bunch of other stuff to accommodate it. So rearranging, changing.
Oh no, you showed me. It's against that wall.
Yeah.
I'm seeing. Okay, yes, thank you. You did tell us that. Congratulations. Those booths, Andrea, is yours getting used? She has one.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Ours is getting used. I mean, it's not daily by any means, but then we'll have a couple days in a row, people come in and use it. So yes, everybody that uses it seems to really like it. We had a gentleman come in. He comes here to visit his mom and other family, and usually he's working still remotely when he does that. And so he wanted to borrow one of our hotspots. We didn't have any to give him. And I said, but you can come in and use it. He says, I'll have to do that. I said, well, let me show you this room. And he was really excited about it. He did some sort of a Zoom meeting or something while he was in there. We have a couple ladies who meet in there. Oh, maybe more than monthly, but certainly not weekly, that I don't have any idea what they're talking about, but they're in there. That's the whole point. I don't want to know what they're talking about. So it does work. It has worked well, and ours will seat up to 4 people fairly easily. So we just need to get probably, I don't know if we need to get the word out more or, if that's just kind of how it's going to roll. It's being used. Yes.
Awesome. Good.
Really like
Word of
it.
mouth. Yay. Okay. Samantha, your window project showed up in a paper. I think it showed up in the register, like as a little, yeah, like regional news. It was talking about your grant. So congratulations, you're getting the word out. Okay. Anybody else? You got any issues? You just want to, brag about something awesome that you're doing?
Can you talk a little bit, Sharon, about most about, I don't know, with all the stuff that's going on, how much can we as library staff, I don't want to say get political about the things that are going on? Can you address that just a little bit? You understand my question?
Yeah. No, we've talked about it in-house, the difference between providing information and requesting advocacy. We cannot advocate. We are public employees. So what we can do, sorry, I'm having a little bit of a power surge. What we can do is provide information. So that information means, there's no right or wrong, yes or no, red or blue when you're providing information. So the information that you can provide is, here's what the state library does. Here's how the state library is funded. Here's the percentage of the state library's budget that comes from this particular funding. This funding is an act of Congress. Here's what the IMLS
used to do for us.
agency has done in the past. And then, you can put, here's how to contact, or here's where to go to find out who your legislators are. That's our job. We provide information. If, it used to be people would call us and go, that would be a reference question that we would be answering over and over and over again is, who's my legislator and how do I contact them? Well, now you can do that through the internet, but that's still a role that we play. What we can't cross over to at work, while at work, using work computers, is asking to advocate or advocating on ourselves. So we can share stories as librarians, which we have been doing. Again, that's just us sharing our story, telling our legislators what we do, how important the state library is to us, how we value it, that kind of thing. Who can advocate for you are your friends and your board members and those patrons that, like I said, are your power users and love you and have no qualms about calling everybody once a day. And then you give them the information, maybe share with them some of the talking points that we get from this Kansas Library Association. But you as an individual on your own time from home after 5 o'clock, you're a citizen, you can do whatever you want. Well, within reason, just know that don't do anything that's going to get you fired. But yeah, does that help? We provide information and we can encourage our boards and friends to advocate on our behalf. Quietly, I wouldn't do that through Facebook. But you can do it in a way that's subtle. Does anybody follow Katie at Cape Girardeau on Katie Hill? She used to be at Coffeyville. She's done a really good job because they have a proposition that they're trying to get voted on. So they have legislation that's out there right now. That's especially if you have any kind of a bond issue, the library can provide information, but it's everybody else. It's your support who can go out there and say, vote yes. There's more information about this role in the, Amy, which was it? Was it in the trustee handbook or in the manual? Anyway, I think it's in the trustee manual. There's some information about, the board's role as an advocate and what that means. And I think we found an article, but it was an article about this issue, about this advocate versus educate, inform. But it was more about that, like voting yes on something. So, we can't say vote yes, but we can say, feel free to contact your legislators because that's you have free will.
We are doing I haven't told Tegan this was a 6 o'clock this morning thought, but we didn't have anything for our display case this month. And so we're all bringing in our rocks, our rocks from vacation and our grandparent rock that's handed to you, to put, that kind of thing. So we have all these rocks we're collecting from people. And I was thinking this morning, because we decided yesterday we were going to say libraries rock. But I think on the background, I'm going to put in like what you sent out about the SEK statistical page and the page that we did on statistics, and maybe a couple other things, kind of as a very just look at all the things we do, very unassuming, but there for them to see kind of thing. So, collect some rocks, make a display. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and print out a couple of the community impact story brochures or stick one up there, and people can read feel good stories about the impact that the library has on people's lives. So, I mean, if they're coming to the library, they're kind of a library supporter. So, but that's who we want. We want those, we want that family that has been positively impacted by, your new family engagement area, to reach out, to spread the word. All right, so we've got some stuff going on in the chat. Amy, do you want to talk about what you added?
Yes, and I put it in the ongoing agenda minutes as well. That's something that you've shared, Sharon, a document from ALA about advocacy, who can say what, that sort of thing. So
Okay. Oh, that's the one that the one that was focused on voting. Okay, thank you. Kaylee says Colony's having a puzzle contest. Yay! Oh, that's great. Kaylee, I'm happy you're having people in the building and building up, making sure that your community knows that you have that resource. So I hope people have fun. We have a perpetual puzzle at Iola and it gets used all the time. So, and you can have puzzles as a collection, which we do, and it gets used a lot. All right.
we've got Connie with a hand up.
Oh, sorry. Yes, go.
Going back to the IMLS, I know I've shared things on my personal Facebook page, and we've talked about, these are the things it does for our state library. There is a library, I know this person through ARSL, and they just flat out announced yesterday, important announcement, Hoopla service suspension due to the suspension of grant processing, which obviously it's hard to do if you don't have any employees in the office. From the Institute of Museum and Library Services, we regret to inform you that Hoopla will be unavailable. We understand this may be disappointing and we sincerely apologize for the inconvenience. We do not have a timetable for when or if Hoopla service will be able to be returned. So they're kind of taking the bulls by the horn and he's gotten some reaction, like 47 people have posted. And so, yeah.
Well, it might come to that, it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the state library is going to have to look really carefully. Tomorrow morning is our meeting with
Yeah.
the state
This was
librarian,
in
so.
Mississippi, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might have to hurt a little bit. So we'll see. I'm trying to be very zen about all of this and take things one day at a time and not look too far into the future, because who knows what the future is going to bring. And there's I try not to tell myself stories that are going to cause anxiety and crying, which I know is hard because we're feeling attacked and dismissed, and things are really weird right now. So deep breaths. What we do is good work. Smile at all your patrons as they come in and say thank you for using the library. Carolyn, you've hired 2 new employees, a children's clerk and a circulation clerk. Great. It's good to not have a staff shortage. And your new roof that you guys are replacing. Good. I'm glad. And I hope that it gets done before, what are we supposed to have hail tonight or tomorrow night? Like big bullseye, spring storms are starting. Okay. So everybody stay safe. And all right. Uh-oh. Anything else? Good and welfare? explain about puzzles again? Oh, so a lot of libraries have what they call a library of things collection. And that collection can have anything in it from cake pans to, oh, who is it? McCune has a weather station. How cool is that? Jake and I we were geeking out over that. You can have board games. That is a very popular collection of things that people circulate, and puzzles can be a part of that. So if there is a thing or a something other than books and audiobooks that you think would benefit your community to be circulated through the library, again, efficient, work with the staff. For Neotishe, you can still work with our cataloging staff to maybe work to get a record put together for that. What are some of the other weird things that Iola has telescopes that we check out? What's something else that you guys have in your library of things that is well circulated?
I don't know that it really is a library of things because we don't really have that, but our hotspots are still like always
Huge.
gone. Huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, we check out the internet.
I've heard of sewing machines and fishing poles.
Yep. I've heard of what it's like a device that checks if you have a vampire appliance. It's like a volt reader or something. So
EMF.
yeah, to see if you have a poorly performing piece of equipment in your house that's raising your energy costs.
I think Chanute recently added like ghost hunting kits or something. Like
Oh,
ghost hunting equipment.
fun.
I know Ariel's library has outdoor games for like when people have family reunions, and then they have play and go kits for grandparents, and then they have the great big crock pots and drink urns.
Oh,
know,
for like
yeah,
for big
yeah.
family events.
Popcorn maker, cotton candy maker, all kinds of things that like you don't want to buy, but they also have a power washer and a stud finder and things like that too.
Yeah.
They've got a really cool one there at Gridley.
Oh, okay. Andrea? You're muted.
Kind of off subject a little bit, but two things. Did you guys see the email from the lady that's, I forget where she was, what office or what she was, something with the state fair? Did you guys see an email from her? Okay, I got it yesterday, and they'll give you free state fair tickets to hand out over the summer if you put their, I think it's the state fair logo on your summer reading stuff. I'll forward it to Sharon and then she can send it out.
I'll send it to the forum group. Yeah.
And then,
yeah,
go ahead. Nope. So anyway, that was something that came up yesterday. We're not exactly sure how it works, or if you have to put their logo like on every single thing that you do, or just like your main thing you hand out with all the rules or whatever. I don't know. And then I had something else completely left my brain here. Just so you guys can be jealous. We have a lady that gives us $100 every month. Just donates it to us. She doesn't live here. Her mother is on the Friends board, but this lady's been doing this for several years now. But she also loves to support our summer reading program. So in the last couple of years, she's given us bicycles. And this year, she brought in a whole bunch of art supply stuff she said she got from Five Below. She talks to Charlotte a little bit before she buys stuff, but she also brought in 10 tickets to the rabbit hole. So that probably works as a better fit for us than some of you, because it's still quite a ways up there to go to it. But we're going to try to give them out by the end of June so that they still have July to go during the summer if they want to. So we're not exactly sure how we're going to utilize them yet, but we were like, I was just like stunned when she brought in, you know, $160 worth of tickets or whatever they are for the rabbit hole. So
That is awesome. Congratulations. That reminds me of two things. There was a community foundation fundraising workshop that we had last week that was really good. Also that came on Ken Libel, the Kansas Department of Education Summer Food Service Program. There's an informational meeting Thursday, April 3rd at 2 p.m. That showed up on Ken Libel on the 27th. And let's come over here to chat. Emma, what are Tony's? Are popular? I'm missing something. What are those? Brenda's laughing at me because obviously she knows what they are, but I don't know
We've
what they are.
talked about it before, didn't we? Jason's talked about it. It's a, no, I don't know how to describe them. You have a little box and then you have the character. There's
Brittany's
Disney.
holding one up.
Yeah, Mound City has them. Look at Brittany's.
Yeah, Brittany's got it.
Oh,
My
okay.
grandson has one. It
All right.
plays a little. It's just sound, so it's not, I don't want to say movie, but you have the character and then you're going to have the story to go with it. Plays a story, I guess.
Okay.
To say it.
Awesome. All right. And so we
Okay.
circulate those out of the kids are audiobook characters. How fun. Oh gosh, I feel old. Morgan asked about outreach to nursing homes. Morgan, contact Cindy. Cindy, you know about all the nursing homes. Cindy, contact Morgan. So yeah, Cindy can help you with that. Cindy Chalker. All right. And Tammy says there's a new Five Below open by the Home Depot in Pittsburgh. So I'm guessing a good place to get summer reading program toys and prizes. So I'm jealous of your bikes, Andrea, that I really wish we could give away bikes. Maybe someday.
we wouldn't be able to if she didn't do it. Now last year we had a lot of like, you know, this is, I suppose, sexist or something, but we had a lot of quote unquote boy bikes. So we did end up buying a couple of girl bikes to go with them just because we knew that, you know, they'd be more excited about maybe one wasn't black and green, but whatever, you know. So we did do a little, our friends group is very supportive of our summer reading program. So we were able to do that, but no bikes this year, I don't think, unless the friends want to buy some, but I'm excited about the rabbit hole tickets. The kids will not get it at all. So we'll have to have a way of letting the parents know, you know, they're not going to put their ticket they got that day to win a rabbit hole thing because kids won't know. So,
well, and I'm guessing if the rabbit hole doesn't have some sort of a video or something,
yeah, I'm sure.
a tour
Yeah.
that you can show.
Yeah. So,
but the point that I wanted to pull out of your story was that she does not live in Garnett. So you just never know.
She doesn't even live in Kansas. So I think when her parents moved here, she decided to, of course, I think she's a doctor or a nurse that, you know, really high up kind of RN type thing. So, but yeah.
You just never know.
Never know.
You never know. Okay. All right. We have 2 minutes till 10 o'clock. In those last 2 minutes, do we have anything else? Like I said, it's budget season, so we'll have training for that. Tammy had a really good Priscilla Howe program last Friday. So you're working on that. New GAC update. Oh, okay, I'll go look. And keep an eye on your Can Libel more than once a month, like me, to see what's going on in the world of libraries right now, because it is definitely a hour by hour change. There are going to be I think there's some special elections happening in the next week or two that might change things on the federal level. But again, build those relationships locally. We want more Senator Petty's and Senator Fagg. He seconded the amendment in the Ways and Means Committee to restore that state aid. So we've got some bipartisan support for libraries in the Senate in Kansas. So, Okay, Tammy?
So I just wanted to let you know that the Bill Martin Jr. Picture Book Award has been announced for the year. Buffalo Fluffalo by Bess Called received the most votes, and it's the winner. The author will be at the Kansas Book Festival in Topeka on Saturday, September 20th, 2025. And I'll be sending out the announcements along with a list of nominees for 2026.
Awesome, thank you. Isn't it one of our school libraries that as a prize, they get to go to that book festival? Like they take the students up there?
There's an opportunity to go for the William Allen White Book Festival. It's kind of a first come, first serve. We don't have a lot of schools in Southeast Kansas that attend, but every once in a while, one will pop up that attends. Mostly it's the schools around Emporia that take the kids, so, you know, proximity type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the William Allen White.
Oh, okay. My confusion. Thank you. All right. Well, West Elk here in Howard goes. Okay. See, I thought it was that would, because she's on my board. All right. Thank you, everybody. I want to be respectful of your time. It's 10 o'clock. I know some people have other meetings they need to go to. This will be uploaded so you can rewatch it or share it with your staff, which I know some people do. And the minutes, we've been trying to put the highlights and the links and everything in that perpetual agenda. So you can go there as well if there's something that you're like, oh, I forgot to write down. So thank you all for everything that you do. I appreciate each and every one of you and the work that you're doing, both, you know, as my staff working for our libraries and you as the practitioners supporting your students and your patrons. Thank you. We do good work. So just remember that. All right. Go forth in library. Oh, I can only leave the meeting. I can't end the meeting.